Is everyone is ready? So, okay, you do this, same thing for this last layer. I think I converted that one too. Once you have this one, now go to the first layer in this duplicated layer and go to options and click merge down. And the same thing again, you go to the options and click merge down twice. Then it turns into one single fabric. Now see, it turns into one single fabric now. Okay, so I'll use the previous one. So this one, I have the width now. I need a height. So the width fabric, I just duplicate once again. I go to options, I click OK, and I just simply drag it and put it over here. This. Okay. Now have the height of one single line. I want one more time. Again, I go to options. I click. I click duplicate. Again, I have one more time. Just move this one. So I kept this one now. I think I have with the height and width. I'm good now. So what I'm gonna do is I simply merge down once and merge down twice. Now I have my fabric swatch. Okay. See now, I have one biggest fabric swatch. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I simply put it over here and see whether it is kind of like finishing this layer or not. Like still have a small spot is left. For that, what I'm gonna do is go to your keyboard and simply click Control T. Expand this one to a little bit bigger. That's it. To fill that space, to get that texture. Okay. I think that's good enough. And simply click OK. Okay. So now you have your color. See, this is your color layer, and this is your fabric layer. Okay. That's your fabric layer. So how I gonna erase the parts? That's fine. It's quite easy. Just go to this color layer. Okay. You already drop your color over there, right? Click on this color layer, and you see this quick selection tool behind this polygamy lasso tool. You might see the object selection tool. If you click and if you go for more options, you'll find this quick selection tool. Okay, get that quick selection tool and just select this color. Just draw it on the color and you'll get this selected option over here like that. Okay, once you have this selected area, I want to erase the fabric outside of this selected area, not inside of the selected area, right? So that's what we needed for now. So what I'm gonna do is I select my area and I go to select. I inverse my select. You can see that inverse. Click on inverse. Now, apart from this blue color t-shirt, the other area got selected now. Okay. Then I go to my fabric layer. I took eraser and increase my size as big as possible. That's fine. Okay. Here I keep my opacity 100%, flow 100%, and I just simply erase these parts. I erased everything. Now you guys can see there's no any fabric left on the outside of this selected area. Okay. Now my fabric got erased. Okay. What I'm gonna do is I go to select. Sorry, it's still erasing, I guess. Yeah. So once you're done with your arrays, go to select and click deselect. Now you can see the fabric over here. If you drag and drop, you can see the fabric. See? So the fabric you got as the t-shirt shade. So how to apply the color for this fabric? So I'll put it on the bottom of the color, okay, my fabric, and go to the color option, and I mean go to the color layer, click on this color layer, and go to this normal. There is an options over here, see, and if click on the normal tab, you have this option called like multiply, okay, click multiply. Once you click multiply, you can see the fabric and color got merged here. See, I will zoom it so you can see the texture also very clearly. See now, you guys can see the texture in the fabric, right? So, sir, I have this problem that I'm seeing these lines, like, what I'm gonna do and everything. That's fine once you blending them with the darker values, like, when you're applying a texture to this one, like, for example, when you're rendering this one in the coloring options, go to your, like, in the color layer, go to the burn tool. See, I'm not in my fabric layer, I'm in my color layer. Okay. I don't do anything on my fabric layer. I just go with my color layer. What I do is I simply start burning them where I needed darker colors like this. Because in full course, I can show you how to remove those things and everything, how to use the clone tool and everything. But so it has to be quicker, the time being. So what I slowly started applying my shadows over here, where I want my renders to be done. I burn it on the edges because it's like the darker value here on the darker, and this area is also a darker. So already is also darker. I'll apply a couple of times, like I burn to again smudge them. I get. So right now I'm working on once I'm done these edges and everything, properly done. So I burned it as it's required for now. Okay. What I'm gonna do is I'll go to my smudge tool. Okay. I zoom as much as I can, and I slowly started smudging them by using my smudge tool. Like, giving a proper blend to that. I'll reduce my size because the size is too big. Don't worry. So, okay, to be done. Okay, I'll make it more and everything, of details, and like as for the properly until I got my rightful result over there. So everything better rendering skill to understand, actually, to understand how the observe. So after that, you need to start, like how you get your details and everything. That way you can master any kind of an illustration. Put an object, see the lights, pain or anything, and observe how replicates only. I think that is the best way to understand, and the color source. So I leave that lines, so don't worry about it. For those lines and like folds. And like using these tools, if you want to draw the perfect shape, it's gonna take you a lot of time. Like yeah, for full-fledged to show you, there's no use of like we want to make illustrations not only the job. So it has to be fast results in shorter time, but you can get really good results in very short time span, and tool achieve whatever results. See down, like of the fabric, that will be good enough for now. And that will be absent or be standing over here. You can go till I can draw this shadows. A little bit shadows, color will go there. and this area too, and where my fabric and it's the shoulder area. So you have some green burn little bit over here. More dark. That lines which I used for drawing the top. So I'll show you that trick also. Just give me a second. So let's finish this one to the best. See now the t-shirt, it's become life, right? Given some life to the t-shirt, and you can see now. So what do you guys say? It's rendered. You can see the shadows and everything, right? So you have that one. So still there is two things we have here. So we only given a mid tone and dark tone. We did give the light tone. Okay. The light tone we can give it later before I'm fixing these lines. So for that, what I'm gonna do is I zoom as much as I can in the layers session. I go to this top layer. That's where I draw my t-shirt, right? I went to this top layer. I take my smudge tool. I slowly smudge these lines as it's needed as as a values. So I don't want these lines and smudging those lines to fix this point. And sorry about my camera. I don't want you guys to get scared of me looking in such a close distance. So depths and details for this one. That's why I said don't worry about the lines and everything. So I'll smudge them later once it's done. So you don't see any kind of outlines or anything. It's just a t-shirt and I'm gonna roll it as per it's required and everything. So I smudge it neat perfectly. I spend my time here. A really nice, realistic approach for your drawing. If you are really like realistic drawings or something like that. So I give my depths here, see, and nicely I use them as the details and this kind of a tiny details and small shadows on my t-shirt because the shadows changes, the depths of the light fabric also changes as per this line. So details, instead of erasing them, I use them as this kind of a details. The same way, I blend those colors with the different lines. You can see nice and smooth. And I'll keep my session for the all the way to the last, to give these details if those sessions over there. So I render all my lines now slowly and make it smooth and nice until I get a perfect look for them. I do the same thing with my skin tone. Also see these lines for the body. I do the same thing. With the trouser and the skin and everything. I do the same thing. I apply this kind of details. My illustration too much. It's just them. I use them into my advantage. Instead of cleaning them, more better result. Because I want this third shadow layer to be done there, and I want a little bit details over here, like this kind of a folds. So I use those shadows and lines to create such kind of a depths and details for more outlook. So You guys can see this is like, almost a good result, just a short span. So like, without Zoom call and everything, like, I make my illustrations a little more faster. Uh, so that means it's my practice, you can say, like, or my understanding of gently. The same thing it's applied for you guys also. You need to practice them. Okay, don't just listen, work, then only you can master the skills. Okay, it's not just to take a note, it's not a theory subject or something. Okay, it's a practical thing. You need to work on it until you master every single detail, like, constantly. So here, so I use the same lines here to get this kind of a shadow details and depths by simply smudging them. Now, one thing is done. Most thing is done. Now we need to give a light tone for this one too. Okay. Now you guys can see I have a dark tone now. It's good. So now how I gonna give the light tone? So go to the color now instead of top. Go to the color. Take your dodge tool. Okay, and increase the size of this brush. And now observe where the fabric will get, like, lighter next to it. So you just need to find those spots and you need to give those lights to them. Okay, so here in this area you get some whites here. So, and this, and here near the chest, and near the shoulder, and it's also appears like a folds only. So here and here and here too. So I have some whites. I just draw on them, and after that I smudge them until I got a proper result. Where I can see those colors. I blend those whites with those colors, lighting and everything, like, all the details and everything. I smudge them nice and neat until I get a perfect result. So, so guys, next session you guys want to continue, or after the lunch you guys want to continue the next section? Because in 10 minutes this is going to be done again. So you guys want me to continue, you guys can join the same session again. Or if you guys want to take a 10 minutes break, you guys can take a 10 minutes break and you can come back into the same session. And guys can, like, finish your lunch. And
Sir, you can continue.
okay, okay then. So you guys can use the same link, okay, to join the session. 10 minutes. So I have some rougher, like, white spots and everything. So as per the shape and everything. So, and for the more details, what I do is I'll come out and see my light understanding again. And if I have any doubts, what I'm gonna do is I'll go to Google and observe any kind of, like, a t-shirt or something, like, and everything. I'll see an image or something, like, or maybe runway pictures. I can simply type runway here and you can see, like, where the details gonna come and everything. So here you can see some runway pictures, and go and find some streetwear, like, a t-shirts or like any kind of things that represents our details which is close to our work. So look into them, and for example, see here where the details are, how the light is falling on the shadows and everything, and observe those things. So under the scale of this line, you have more white source. Look that kind of an aspects and apply those whites as per it's required, like that. Okay, take your dodge tool again and increase the size. And that's where I can see my whites and everything. If it's anything bigger, that's fine. Just take a burn tool and just go with one stroke. Here I have too much of white, so what I do is I just take my burn tool, just go with one or two strokes. Don't do too much, so it'll remove. Burn and dodge are opposite tools. Okay. Then I take my smudge tool and increase my size of my smudge tool. Okay. So I think I'll go with the 143 and I smudge it smoothly. Still smudging once. Zoom it little bit closer and I take my smudge tool, reduce the size little bit smaller, and I smudge it smooth and neat until I find a better result where I can see all the colors and, like, of things. Yeah. So I have some decent close look for now. So I don't want to spend the entire day for this one. And some more details I want to add. What I'm gonna do is I'll go with the white color. I change my color to the white. Okay. I took my brush tool and reduce my size to the 10 or 12. Yeah, that's good enough. Now what I'm gonna do is there is this sharp line details of whites that I'm gonna draw them here like this. I think 12 is also a little bigger. I'll go with the 3 size. So what I do is a fine line where it's reflect direct light on you, because the dodge tool will create, like, really big kind of a white. So I simply directly draw them. Okay. So this kind of a details are simply fine results like this. To make it more real and to make it, to highlight these folds and everything, I simply on the edges to make little shiny my details like this. if you observe any kind of like, object, when you kept it on the white details, that's gonna appear. That means the light is directly reflected. That's why you can see these white lights. Okay. It's kind of a detailing that what you guys want to give. So I think this is good enough for now, because it's going to take some more time, but you can see it's a good result we got now. See. Okay, so if you see in a distance, that you can see how clear the t-shirt has some life. Over here we have depths, dark values, mid tones and light tones and everything. So we can see that it's a little more closer to the realistic. Okay, now let's talk about like how to draw the embroidery details and everything once we're done with the trouser also. So the same thing, it can be repeated, so you guys can follow it. Okay, instead of repeating the same steps again, what I do is I'll try to finish the trouser itself also, so you guys can see the same steps what I done in the t-shirt.